Well, enough of that tinkering around the edges. We're going to create a brand new brush from scratch. Now you can create a brush out of anything. You can even create it out of another image, and that's what we're going to do. So I want you to go to your Chapter 14 folder and open up the file Strawberry 2. And let's drag this so we can see the whole object. Now what we want is for this entire strawberry to become a brush shape. To do that, we first select it. So let's use our quick select tool. W is the keyboard shortcut. Now we want to select the strawberry, but as we saw in an earlier chapter, sometimes it's easier to select the area that you do not want. So we're going to bump up this brush size, and I'm going to paint over this background. Fill in a little bit here, and once more there. And that's pretty good. We've got a rough selection, and that's going to be just fine for our purposes. Keep in mind, though, that we have selected the background, and we want to invert that selection. So we go up to the Select menu and choose Inverse. Now our strawberry is selected. And with that selection made, go to the Edit menu, and all the way down here, select Define Brush Preset. This is where we create our brand new brush. The brush has a nice icon. It's got a default name. I think this would be much better served with strawberry. So let's simply click OK. And now let's go back to the document we created. When you've got multiple documents and the view is blocked, simply go up to the Window menu. Scroll all the way down here to the bottom, and we can select Untitled 1. And let's go back and choose the brush tool. Now, in our brush panel, let's scroll down and find our strawberry. There it is. So if we click this, we now can paint a strawberry. I'm going to reduce the size of the brush just a bit. There is a strawberry. If I click and drag, multiple strawberries stacked on top. So let's change the spacing here. Space those out like that, and let's flip them that way, and now let's paint. There we go. So we've got strawberries. We can paint those all day. Note to this point we've only been painting in blue. When you paint with the brush uses the foreground color. If we wanted to paint a red strawberry, which I think makes a bit more sense, let's simply go and toggle our foreground and background colors here. Now let's paint another strawberry. And there we go. Now we've got some red going in there. Now we can do a lot with the brush presets panel, and we're not finished with it. We're going to come back to it in the next lesson. But this takes up a lot of screen space. And if you're not looking to alter any settings of your brushes, you really don't need to have this taking up that much of the screen. So what we're going to do now is dock this beneath our history panel, free up some screen space here. And instead, what we're going to open under Window is Brush Presets. Now, we've got a listing of all of our presets in a much more compact, manageable space. We can scroll up, choose any of them that we want, and we've freed up a lot more room for our image. So when you're going to actually make changes to the brush, go to the Brush panel. But when you just want to quickly and easily select from the presets you've already made, you can use the Brush Presets instead. Now we haven't saved this file, and if we simply try to close it by going File, Close, Photoshop is going to remind us that, hey, we have not saved this. And in this case, for the very first time in our training, we are going to save this document. So I want you to select Yes, and let's give this a name. Let's call this DoodlePad. We're going to use this file in our very next lesson. For right now, we can leave it as a PSD file. We could save it as a TIFF as well. Save it back to your Chapter 14 folder if you prefer, and simply click the Save button. The strawberry we don't need to save, so you can simply close that, and I'll see you in the next lesson.